Topic number 3. I am going to dive in right now. So my topic is, with all the games that are coming out these days and how complicated they're getting, how pretty they're getting, how involved they're getting. Yeah, they are. If someone came to you who hasn't played computer games and said, I want to play games, where do I start? Where do you send them?
I had this question given to me probably no less than a week ago.
Okay.
No work. No, he's not going to say he has never played games, because the last game thing he ever played was the PS1, which was what, 90...
I mean, 97, 96, 95, somewhere around about there.
There's been 4 generations of consoles since then. But he had an idea of games to go with, but the first game he bought was Star Wars Battlefront.
Lad.
And I said to him, great game,
Great
but
timing.
that's the worst thing you could have done, because he's never played with an analog stick, never played with, I think, shoulder buttons, or never played with 6-axis sort of controls, so he didn't know what the fuck he was doing. And Battlefront's already chaotic it is. It was 20 versus 20. And I was like, you've run on the wrong foot there. And I said, the best thing you could probably have done was got a game like FIFA. Or something that you can turn the difficulty down on, but will still show you the graphical capabilities of...
I think both of them are right.
Of the next-gen console.
Okay.
Because
so
you could tell them to go back and play like Mario, or something on a proper like old school NES. But if you showed me that now and I didn't know what a game is, I'd be like, is that all this game's done in the past 20 years?
But you know what a game's done. Then.
Because you've
played
them.
No, but you know, but
if I was given Mario...
You live in a world where like, you have this that could take you to the moon. It's got more technology than they had on the first NASA space rocket to the moon.
True.
And if you showed me
and yet
Mario
we're sitting
now,
here.
I'd be like, is that all that games can do? But for me, I would say something that's still next gen, but not...
Something free roam, I'd say.
I think I'm inclined to agree. I think you'd have fighting games. What comes to mind to me, like I think it'd be funny to throw them in at the deep end and give them like the hardest game you can think of. But I remember years ago, I had a friend who they'd played games before, and they were playing Saints Row, and we were just like taking in turns, just having a mess about. And they could only use one analog at a time, and it literally adjust analog, run. Adjust analog, run. And they couldn't get the hang of it. So if you're looking at a complete noob that has just come out of a locked box somewhere that has never held a controller before, you're going to completely kill the experience by adding in the camera. So an RPG, so the old RPGs, if you look at Lifestyle Seal, the original Final Fantasy, they're another option again, because it's going to slow the game down for them. You've got a story, it's going to be turn-based. The camera's locked in, and he's literally move around and spam A to pick items up and talk to people, and you can become immersed. Whereas if you were to give someone, say, here's 484,
a little bit different.
Yeah, I suppose it would depend, I guess, on your outcome. You're trying to get them into games, or trying to get them to realise how good a game can be.
So yeah, this is the crux of it. So I didn't want it to be a very straightforward question, but I was thinking like, if my mum came to me one day, because my dad plays computer games, it's something that we've really got in common. I go around, and, we played guitar the other week, and he'll be playing Uncharted or something when I go around. And that's all fine for him, and I'm trying to look back to where he started with games, but he probably bought an Atari and an Amstrad, and he used to try and program BASIC on the Commodore and stuff, so he's been in there from day one.
He's fluent.
He's been in there since day one, and that means so have I, because I've seen him do that. I think my actual first gaming experience that I can really remember was having a broken arm in hospital, and sitting there. This is a cute story, and it's a very, very short story. My mum was sitting there, I had a broken arm, and I was playing Mario on the original Game Boy that my auntie had lent her because I broke my arm, and she was pressing the jump button and I was pressing the left and right button, just sitting there in the hospital, just waiting for X-rays and stuff. Just come on, my good makeup on today. But if my mum came to me, or my sister or something like that, and said, I want to play a video game, you could go to the top of the list and go, I could just give you the best gaming experience there is available, and it's going to completely draw you in, or it's going to turn you around and send you back out the door. Because, Metal Gear Solid, probably a lot of people's game of the year, but my mum's going to pick up the controller and go, holy hell.
I would completely agree.
I would be tempted to go for something like Journey.
Yeah.
What's that?
Journey's an emotional masterpiece, which takes around 2 hours to get from start to finish. It is incredible as games go. It really, really is good. It's something that if you haven't played it, you'll play it. Pretty much no story. You just kind of create it as you go along. And if you haven't cried by the end, there's something wrong with you.
I have played it briefly, but isn't it just like run and jump? Like aside from that, there isn't any other controls.
There's no real right stick control because the camera does everything for you. There's just jump. You can play. The whole thing's online if you play online, and other characters will be near you. But there's no way to talk to them. There's no headset kind of thing. There's no chat. You just make talking sounds, and they can make them back. And you'll go through the game together, and you create relationships like that.
Does that not give off the wrong impression in terms of what a game is?
Well, I mean, if you break it down, the sentence "What is a game?" Do you know what I mean? Like that is a Patreon special podcast that you have to pay to listen to that one.
I think you've got to like break them in slowly to different genres, haven't you? Like I imagine like a racing game would be a good shout because you're getting them used to having because racing games are still the same as the old. Like it takes a little while to get used to the joysticks. Yeah. But then you're getting them used to using the shoulder buttons.
Forza's got auto brake on corners.
Racing games
you can use.
Are the best games to just introduce someone to what things can do because
Mario Kart.
Because exactly Mario Kart. What do you do? Okay, well you steer with the directions. Okay, obvious, and you press go. Which is
go, stop,
go, and when you want to slow down, you let go of the go button, and when you want to speed up, you press the go button again.
Yeah.
You know, racing games.
And then you've got that extra button where you like launch a shell.
I think you add that in later.
Yeah. Easy mode.
I think in regards to pick up and play, Mario Kart is probably the easiest game to introduce someone to.
Basically, the way you asked the question, I was thinking, okay, well, what can I introduce my mother to? Because my mum is a technological disaster.
Yeah.
Sorry if you ever watch it, Mother, but you are terrible with technology. And she actually owns a Wii console. I think it might have been mine at some point.
Everybody owns
but she owns a Wii console. And she can actually play Mario Kart, even though she jumps around on the sofa and does this with the steering wheel.
I do that.
Do you do that with Rocket League?
Yeah.
I cannot jump in Rocket League without going...
I did it with a controller. Like my brothers always used to laugh at me because we were playing Project Gotham Racing and I'm sitting there doing this.
Yeah, that's what she's like on the sofa. You can't stop from doing it. So that's one way of doing it. Again, if I'm getting someone that's come out of a box and never experienced gaming or technology before, I'd probably go down the route of Mario or Sonic or something that's run and jump, collect things, because to me that is gaming. That's my nostalgia says that's gaming. That's how I started to play games in Mario.
If I ever end up having a kid that shows some interest in a video game, there is going to be a gaming education that takes place.
Yes,
it's going to be once you finish Mario, you can have Sonic.
Yeah.
And then once you finish Sonic, let's go for something with an extra dimension.
Yeah. Missed out Sonic Spinball though, that was fucking brilliant.
No Sonic Spinball. You can have Sonic and Knuckles and we'll plug the thing in the top and oh my god, it's kind of 3D now.
They'll be like, Dad, I want the PlayStation 11. You can, but you need to play this game from PlayStation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
There's going to be a level of appreciate where it's been and not in a dickhead way kind of thing. Like this is how you play games. Yeah, you gotta
there are a few ways you can look at that, but ultimately, I mean, if I got somebody that's not like my mother or not been locked in a time box and has played games before but hasn't played for quite a few years, I'd probably just give them something standard like a Call of Duty game. Yeah. Because let's face it, they're just so easy. Like you run around and you shoot stuff.
The only problem is the right stick issue, and you might not have experienced this before. I gave Rachel the second controller for Borderlands one time, and it was running in straight lines, and then how do I turn my head? And I was like, you use that one. She went...
People don't get it, they don't have the coordination.
My experience of that was me and Jess took the control off me when I was playing Destiny. And Destiny's not a game where you get unlimited sword ammo, like it does run out. And I gave her a go, and she ended up facing down.
Yeah.
Just unloading.
It's down or up.
Round in a circle on the
down
floor.
or up. It's down or up.
Didn't understand that you had to do that.
Had anyone played Armored Core?
A
while ago. It's a fighting mechs game basically. I love Gundam, I love robots, everything like that. So when I saw Armored Core, I was like, brilliant. Look up is R1 and look down is R2.
Fuck that shit.
That's
Can't you bring back the controller?
This I mean, Armored Core was when there wasn't, a right stick. And even then, if we go to the PSP where there wasn't a second stick, and I had a Rainbow Six game, and the analog stick was triangle, X, square, and circle, and it was look up is triangle, or I think I had to flip the axis on that, but with the right stick it's fine, but with that it just wasn't normal. I always thought they should have come out with a peripheral for that, and all like as a shooting game, use the top buttons, and then put something on the buttons that looks like a thumbstick, and as you press up, it pushes triangle for you.
Yeah.
It's a piece of plastic that could have made millions.
Just a bit of plastic. Yeah.
That's a bit like I remember on the old Olympic games you used to get.
Oh.
You used to use the
Track and field,
top
man.
cap and the smash squares.
Wow,
Just like this.
you were good, man.
I think I
took my sock off.
The first game
I just did this
ever,
real slow.
I think it was for everyone. The first game that really made everyone masters of the button mash was the torture scene in Metal Gear Solid 1. Because you would hammer the shit out of those buttons, and you'd be like, "What? I'm still losing!" And then by the point that it's like finished, you just like the flash, and your hands just going mental.
It teaches you that it's not as fast as you can; it's as small as you can.
Yeah.
Beam battles in Dragon Ball Z. When me and you were sitting there like both.
Any platform fighting game.
If you're like a big Robots fan, did you play Titanfall?
No, I didn't have an Xbox One at the time. I did.
What on earth was that?
I played one.
That was Booyakasha.
Titanfall.
Booyakasha!
I thought you said
That was youth.
Titanfall. That's like
That was you. I played one level of it at Tiny's house, and it looked pretty as hell.
It's awesome.
And the fact that the Xbox hasn't managed 1080 60 frames a second since, I don't know if they did for that, but it looked like 60 frames a
It looks
second.
good on Xbox. I had it on my laptop, so I don't have an Xbox.
My issue with Titanfall is that did you buy Brink when that came out for the PS3?
Nope. Yeah.
I feel like you did. It's one of them where there isn't an offline mode, and you have to be, and you don't know what side you're going to be on, so the story's a little bit convoluted. I wasn't in for that.
Yeah, I didn't like that. I liked the gameplay, and I liked the Titans, and I liked all the stuff. Another thing I didn't like about it was obviously the story mode, which wasn't really a story, and Origin for PC. No. I hate Origin. It's like, let's be Steam. No.
it didn't.
I just bought The Sims 4 from Origin the other day.
Yeah.
Because it was on the Black Friday sale for like £13 or something like that. And that's something that the missus will play, which is a game that you could use to introduce people to games.
Yeah, that is quite cool, actually. Look, you can have real life.
Everyone, I don't know
I just
anyone
bought
that
my sister. Fuck. My sister wants to be an architect.
Does she now?
She legitimately uses The Sims.
I'm sure Sam will show her a structure.
To like good things.
If we get good at video editing, there will be a picture of just to explain this. It's what Sam said every now and again. My older sister doesn't play games, but I have memories of her with a laptop at the living room table just playing The Sims permanently.
The last one I played was the first one, and it was awesome. But now there's so many expansion packs, and this is what like EA do with their Origin stuff. It's just DLC after DLC. You buy a game for 50 quid or 40 quid or whatever it is, and then you have to pay like 10 quid each time something new comes out, which is really
I need to find my Spore disc again. Now you said it.
Yeah, it was £3 in the thingy sale because I wanted to do it through Steam and not through Origin or whatever it's
you
on
can
now.
export through Steam.
Yeah, it's on Steam. I think it was about £1 something, and then there was like the Galactic Extras pack for £1 something. I thought, I love that game. Shame the online was so convoluted because you can't actually play with anyone. You can just use their stuff.
That's weird.
It's real. So you can use like if I create a dinosaur on my account, you could search my account and use my character in your game. So that was the idea. And the buildings and.
What's the point?
No point. No point. I never did get to the centre of the galaxy though. I'm gonna go on YouTube later and find out what the ending of Spore was because there is an end. Moving on.
Yeah.
So we settled on Mario, racing, football.
It's a game like
That's
that
niche.
where you could turn the difficulty a little bit down.
There is an easy mode as well, isn't it? It's like a one button mode.
Yeah. So you can just still get that visual wow factor of what a game console can do nowadays.
FIFA, not Madden.
Yeah, I was going to say, you wouldn't give them Madden because I still don't understand Madden, and well, we all play American football, so it's.
I went onto YouTube and put my first one was 05.
Yeah.
And I went on YouTube and did the soundtrack for it, and all these memories of playing as the Eagles in practice mode and just throwing to Terrell Owens for 6 hours, just like long ball. It's so easy. It's Madden like, and then going to my dad. What's a 2-minute warning? Why can't I play? That's a good night. And what was yours, Ant? Did you go for like a Mario Kart?
Yeah, Mario Kart. I think I've gone to sell.
Yeah, a lot of these. I mean, the overarching thing is if you want to show them a game, you want them to carry on playing games.
Yeah.
You want them to be interested in your topic. We're all salesmen at heart when it comes to what we
I've
care
tried
about.
many a time with Ali.
Yeah, like I said, we're all salesmen when it comes to things that we care about, and you don't mean to do it. But if Rachel went on play a game, I'd be on the internet, be like, "What consoles have you got? What you just go for it, don't you? You don't mean to." But then if I went and bought her The Last of Us, and she,
definitely. You can't throw him in the deep end.
Although she did kill a clicker once. She killed a clicker. She did a tweet about it and everything.